To start the week off, we boondocked here, just south of Carlsbad Caverns, for one night. It's a little chilly tonight. 20-some degrees. Feels like temperature of 15 or so. Got quite a lot of frost. And the door was frozen shut, but we got it open. All's good. We stay nice and cozy in here. We got many blankets. Ezzie gets to share the blankets with us. She's inside there, so that we all stay nice and warm, right, Yo-Yo Man? Yep. The next morning, we headed to the caverns. I decided I wanted to try the natural entrance on the way down and the elevator on the way back up. Well, let me tell you, I was exhausted, and exhausted for the next few days after the fact. But I did it. It's like 750 feet down, and it's a 1.5 mile trail, I believe. Pretty steep downwards. And I made it all the way down. I was quite proud of myself. In pain, but quite proud of myself. This has been a stop I've wanted to make for quite a few years, and I'm glad it's finally checked off my list. Not far from Carlsbad Caverns is the Guadalupe Mountain National Park, and so I stopped right off the road to take a look at the mountains there. We are headed towards Marfa, Texas, and we hit this Texas mountain highway or something where you see all these hills all the way down there. It's quite beautiful. And then we were in a back highway south of Van Horn, and the Border Patrol was trying to wrangle up a horse that got loose. Yoska thought it was pretty entertaining too. We spent a cold night at the Marfa Lights viewing area to see the Marfa Lights. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see them. It was cloudy, but you did get to see the moon rise through the clouds, and that was pretty. Made a quick stop at Marfa to get some work done, and then we headed on to just south of Marathon, Texas. We finally got the monthly postcard sent out. To get your monthly postcard, go to jacquelineheine.com. On the side of the road, we happened to pass this little Target, so of course we had to stop and take a look. So I found this random Target, about the size I like, right? Nice and small. It was funny, I was driving up to it and I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's a Target logo. I wonder why they're using that. And it's because it's a little mini Target. even got the cart. Very nice. Target bag in there. And everything. It's pretty great. This is a roadside picnic area south of Marathon, Texas, and just north of Big Bend. In Texas, you can spend 24 hours at their roadside picnic areas and rest areas unless it's otherwise stated. So we will stay here tonight and do Big Bend tomorrow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's finally warm enough that we can sit outside at about 50 degrees. So we can sit outside so Ezzie can stretch her legs. And Yo's around here somewhere. Probably peeing. Oh, there he is. Yo-yo man. We're just hanging out. It's really nice. 50 degrees. The difference between 40 and 50 degrees is huge. So we're hanging out outside. The little bit of the evening we have left. All happy, happy. Right, Yo-Yo man? Big Bend National Park has been on my list for quite some time also. I had a friend who came with her husband down here and work camped for a season, and she always told me how wonderful it was. So when my friend Kitty and I were trying to figure out a place we could meet somewhere in the middle, she lived on the East Coast and I was out west, we decided that we'd meet in Texas so she could visit some family and we would hit the Marfa Lights and Big Bend. Unfortunately, she passed away before we could make it down here together. So I was sure to stop and take some time for her and really enjoyed Big Bend. We spent one night in the backcountry primitive camping. You have to go to the main visitor center and get a permit, which is $12, and then they schedule you into these backcountry spots all over the park. And he said this one would be pretty simple for me to get to with the bug, and it was. And we had a really nice evening with our one night in the backcountry. We were supposed to do a second night in the backcountry in a different spot, but the spot he chose for us was not accessible with a trailer. So we ended up at the campground at the Rio Grande village and stayed here 3 nights, which is really unlike me. I don't stay in campgrounds because people generally don't leave me alone. But the great thing about the Beetle is no one cares about me, so I can sit in a park and the campground and enjoy the outside and eat outside and not have anyone interrupt my camping experience. It was the best experience, and after 7 years on the road, this is the first time that has ever happened. No questions, no comments, no one invading my space, no being held hostage by people's stories. It was just an enjoyable time, and it was really needed because I had caught a pretty bad cold that I had to get over in those 3 days while we were there. We had a great time. Each day we would take the Beetle out for a little adventure, and YoYo and Ezzie finally decided to share Yoska's car seat on our drives, and it was so much fun to watch them interact together along with the beautiful scenery. We would spend most of the day at camp because I wasn't feeling very well, but YoYo and Ezzie, of course, totally enjoyed that. And they are just such great company. They always make me smile with the way that they investigate and relax and chill, and I love being with them. They're the best travel buddies one could possibly have. The last day we were there, I felt well enough to take the little trail down to the river from the campground. YoYo and Ezzie can't join me on trails in national parks, so they stayed back in TicTac while I went down to the river. It was a beautiful little walk. You could buy hiking sticks for $10. You stick in the jar and you take your stick. There was also a little road runner that I followed quite some ways until he made the perfect little perch up in the tree for the perfect picture at the end of my walk. To see more, become a patron at patreon.com/blueroad. And don't forget to subscribe.